Alrighty then. So, let's start off. What is your name?
My name is Bill.
Alright. What is your last name?
My last name is Curtis.
Okay. Do you have a favorite genre of movie?
I would say good movies.
Okay.
Movies that are
Good is so subjective.
good endings. I like good endings.
So you don't like cliffhangers?
Oh no. Don't you pulling one of those on me. Especially you.
What would you say your top 5 favorite movies would be?
Top 5. Oh, okay. That would be Up, Ratatouille, Toy Story, Howl's Moving Castle, maybe. Oh, you give me the hard ones. I can't pick favorites. I got too many movies that I like watching, but I don't watch very many movies.
Oh. So I have to ask, PC or Mac?
Mac.
Why?
Why? Because I was brought up that way. I realize that PC has its advantages over Mac, as Mac has over PC. Mac's better.
What is your favorite pasta?
Favorite pasta? That would be elbow macaroni. It's like macaroni, but elbow.
Well, what do you think the advantages of having elbow macaroni compared to just regular macaroni would be?
Well, the advantage would be elbow macaroni is a little bit thicker than regular macaroni, so you can cook it for a little bit longer. Therefore, when you're adding multiple different macaronis together, you put those ones in first, then you can put in like the thin little spaghettis, and the elbow macaroni won't be really gushy-ushy by the time the macaroni and the spaghetti, well, you know, they keep the same consistency with the pasta. You don't want to mix up all that stuff at all, but you know, it's
Okay.
yes, I think that's the reason. Is that right? Is that right?
Hey.
Ah,
I was curious, what is your favorite Star Wars character?
favorite Star Wars character? I would have to go with Admiral Akbar.
That's a very good choice.
It's a tarp.
Sir,
It's a tarp.
he's a carpenter, so.
So how do you know Shelby?
How do I know Shelby? Well, I'll tell you how it happened. Once upon a time, I was at TAG, talented and gifted, so they say, and I was bored. So it was recess time, right? And I had a basketball. I didn't want to play basketball. I didn't know how to play basketball. So I stuck it in a little indent and started walking around in circles around it. Talented and gifted. And then this other kid came over, and his name was Shelby. And ever since then, we made a bunch of British jokes and pretended we were English. And we kept saying, I say, and cup of the morning to you, cup of tea. And I'd pull out my jacket, ah yes, a cup of tea. And then we'd make jokes about coffee is so terrible, but an espresso, it's most remarkable, oh by George, etc. And then from then on, we were friends like that. That's all we ever knew about each other. We just kept doing the British thing. We didn't do anything else. In fact, in 7th grade, after tag was over, we'd pass each other in the hall. I say, oh, Johnny Fellow! And I'd walk on going, I wonder who that guy really is. We finally actually got acquainted in high school when I met up with him and Thomas McDowell, who was another friend from TAG, but I met him another way. We made puppets.
Oh, you know about that.
Yeah, 2nd grade, we made puppets. It was all, you go to TAG to make puppets. That's all we did the entire year. Ever since then, I've known how to make puppets. We made finger puppets, we made toothpick puppets, we made paper bag puppets, we made puppets. Puppets.
And that explains Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. So what did you think of theater back in high school?
Back in high school, theater was the place I could have a social life. I couldn't really make, it was hard to get involved in anything. I was always too afraid to ask, hey, you want to hang out? It was strange to say that. But in theater, I was already hanging out. I was always with people like Shelby and he and other people.
It's a great way to end that.
And other people.
People.
What are your impressions of Shelby's success at Mount Hood so far?
My impressions on Shelby's success at Mount Hood so far is he's a very busy individual. He's always going. He's doing something. He's getting it done. And then he's turning it in. Punctual. On the fly. And his fly is always up. And he's ready to fly. And fly.
What do you think of frozen pizzas?
Frozen pizzas? Ugh. It reminds me of elementary school. We'd get in line, we'd get these pizzas, and I once had to spit it out. I don't want to eat pizza at a cafeteria ever again. Why did you bring it up?
Did you ever, was it always the square pizzas that were the bad ones, or are they always?
It was the square ones.
Sorry,
The hexagonal ones were good.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
What?
It sounded like you just asked him to repeat about a rape victim. It was like a rape victim, and then I had to spit it out. Why did you even ask?
Thank you.
Sorry.
So what are your 5 least favorite movies
My least favorite movies that I've seen.
that you have seen?
That I have seen. Well, I know that I hate 9.
Which
that
is-
Tim Burton one. It had a good concept, but it had a terrible story. And that contrast is just... Other than that, I don't really have any particulars. I usually erase them from my memory. So... let's see... I saw the... No, that doesn't count. Oh, that's The Robot versus the Aztec Mummy. But that was funny because I was watching it with Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I love Mystery Science.
They're a good way to make a bad movie at least watchable.
Yeah. Who was your favorite teacher back in high school?
Back in high school, my favorite teacher. Ooh, I don't know. It depends on the context. Because I had different teachers that taught me different things, and well, now that I have Andy Hurwitz as my teacher, I don't really know what high school teacher was my favorite. I really liked my English teachers were nice, but then my economics teachers were always fun, and then my theater teachers were dictative, and my band teachers were tyrannous, and they're definitely not my favorite. They don't watch YouTube, do they? This isn't going...
That's not on YouTube. Talk to me about Andy Gurvich.
Andy Gurvich, that's a teacher for you. He's a professor of magnitude. He teaches you stuff, and he's not afraid to tell you the way it is. He's full of information. It's really interesting. I would sit in one of his classes even if I hadn't paid for tutorship, and just kind of sit there and, yeah, I'm spending my time. I'm not getting any credits, but hey, Andy Gurvich, he's got all kinds of information. I learn about the Occupy movie. I learn about what's going on over in Japan during the whole earthquake thingamabobber, and I learn about all kinds of stuff. I'm in his world religions class, and I took all his world lit classes, and I didn't take his writing class, and he didn't like writing class anyway, so I'm not going to take that.
All right.
Yeah, it's fun.
You have a favorite color?
My favorite color? That's brown.
Like a dark brown or a light brown?
Brown. Definitely just the brown.
What are your thoughts on TV?
TV. I don't watch TV. Main reason is because I don't have any cable. Also because I don't watch TV. In fact, I have this thing where whenever I see an advertisement, I go, don't look at it. It's trying to make me look at... And so because of that, I have no idea what advertisements look like these days. Whenever I think of an advertisement, I think of the way they were in the 90s when I used to watch TV. So I'm kind of stuck in the 90s as far as my interpretation of advertisements. I've seen a bunch of advertisements from the 60s, though. Those are fun.
What do you think of YouTube and Google?
YouTube and Google. YouTube is a good place to get information. Google is a good place to get information. I see them as good as they are potentially harmful. It's all about whether we're using them or abusing them. It's like drugs.
All right. So are you currently involved in any project with Shelby?
I'm a part of a project with Shelby, yes. We're both members of 5 Dudes, 5 Days. He's Monday and I'm Tuesday, so we're back to back. Pretend Shelby's right here, back to back with me. He'd look like this. And he would say something like, "Oh, yeah." And then we would turn around, high five, and he would say, "What's wrong with your face?" And I would go,
So, and from your perspective, how did 5 Dudes, 5 Days start?
From my perspective, I saw it as this. Thursday, Matt Filippini. Thursday, he was going along, and he just grabbed all us and said, "Hey, let's make a collab." And we said, "Okay, okay." And then we made a collab.